All right, now I'm here with, this is John Hansen with FloridaPhysique.com at the 2014 NPC Lakeland Classic, brought to you by Blackstone Labs. And I'm here with the men's overall winner and the men's masters winner, Frank Sapienza.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a wonderful experience.
Now, Frank, you won the overall here, and you won the overall at the Ancient City Classic.
Correct.
And 52, right?
52 years old.
52 years old, that's amazing.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It took me 10 years to do it. In 10 years, I never won an overall. In the last two shows, now I've won an open overall. So it's a great feeling to know that all that hard work, after all those years of training and getting ready, finally it paid off.
That is amazing. So 10 years of work, and it finally paid off. You got 2 overall victories now this year.
It feels great, and I feel great about it. And I just love this sport. I really do.
Yeah. So, Frank, I got to ask you, I mean, I'm sure everybody in the audience is thinking the same thing. 52 years old, you look so great. Your skin is tight, you're ripped, you're full. You got a full head of hair. What's your secret?
My dad. My dad looks just like me, and I got great genes, really. I was blessed with very, very good genes. I do work out hard. I eat right. I don't abuse my body. I don't put anything in my body that should not be there. But I have to say, genetics helps. My dad looks just like this, and I have his skin, and so I was blessed. Yeah. I can't lie. It's been a big part of it.
So how many years have you been training overall now, Frank?
11 now, and I started competing at age 42, and I'm 52. Okay. I did the Gainesville show, or I'm sorry, I did actually I did the Ancient City Classic was my first show, right. And I won my weight class, but I didn't win the overall. And then just
the Ancient City was your first show ever, and then that was the first one you won overall.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and I've done a lot of shows since then. I think this is my 15th or 16th contest.
I've seen you in the Tampa Bay Classic a few times.
I've done the Tampa Bay 5 or 6 times, and I've won the Masters in many of the shows. I've won over 50, I've won over 40, but until these past 2 shows, I have never won an open overall. So
persistence pays off.
Always been my goal is to win an open overall, yeah.
So Frank, tell us a little bit about your training and your diet. I remember we talked a little bit before, and you said you train heavy. You've actually done powerlifting shows?
And I have never done a powerlifting, but I follow a very similar training to powerlifting. And just to show you, I don't follow the typical bodybuilding path, because just on Monday I deadlifted 455 for 12 reps, which will tell you that I still have my strength, even 5 or 6 days out from a contest. So I don't carb deplete. I don't put my body in a weak position or a condition where it's not capable of working out. I do a lot of heavy training, and I do a lot of what people typically call cardio. I walk. I do a lot of walking, okay. And so, and then I follow a very clean diet.
So you don't do the high intensity cardio. You do more the low intensity.
No, I'd never do any high intensity cardio. My thought is that just put in a lot of time at low intensity, it'll burn the fat. Right. If you do too much into high intensity, I think it works your muscles too much, and it might wear them down too much. Right. So.
Now, we were talking before, I said your physique sort of reminds me of Frank Zane. You have a very classical, sculpted physique. How much did you weigh for the show?
182.
182,
which
okay.
Is only 3 pounds away from what Frank Zane weighed for his Mr. Olympia win. He was 185, and I've always thought that's the body I want to have, and I've always liked it. Unfortunately, we've kind of gotten away from that body at the high-level shows, but he's always been an idol of mine, and something I've modeled myself after, Frank Zane, yeah. And we definitely have similar bodies.
Yeah, he built his body just on symmetry and muscularity, and he had the illusion of size, just like you do, because you look much bigger on stage than you are.
And I think that's the important thing. I would love to have another 30 pounds of muscle, but I'm not delusional to think that's going to happen. But I did discover something just very recently, kind of an epiphany, was that it is an illusion. So if I can make myself look bigger, that's fine. And one of the ways I thought about that, I think we mentioned it, is the epiphany I had was, well, how do you make a mountain appear bigger or higher? You dig the valley deeper. So I know if I can cut enough and get the grooves deeper and the valleys deeper, that at least I'll appear bigger. I won't be bigger, but I'll appear bigger. Right. And I think that's my only shot, because I think my ability to put large amounts of muscles is limited and probably not going to happen, not at my age. Yeah. So I just come in looking the best I can and hope for the best.
Yeah. And you don't broadcast this, but you're drug-free, you're never taking drugs?
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't believe in the drugs. I mean, it's not for me. I mean, I can't say what everybody else does, but No, I want to live a long and healthy life. Yeah, I want to live a long and healthy life, and I don't think that's the way to do it. So
that's amazing. 52 years old, all totally natural, and you're winning overall titles.
I do take supplements from like GNC. One of the things that I really like is NO Explode. Not to try to push any products, but it seems to help me. Certainly, creatine is a very important part of my training, and protein powder. That's it. That's all I take.
So when you diet now, Frank, for shows, how long do you diet for?
Well, this past show I did diet a little bit longer than I normally, because I was at 230 pounds in January, because I was planning on doing a powerlifting contest. My goal was to do a natural over 50 national competition and try to break the American record for over 50 242-pound weight class. The total was 1570. I got to 1520, and I hit a plateau for 6 months. I could not get any more out of it. My squat was stuck, my deadlift was stuck, and my bench was stuck for a total of 1520. And I said, powerlifting's not my thing. And I made a conscious decision in January. So I'm going to go back to bodybuilding. I think that's really my thing. Even though those totals are pretty good for my age, I just didn't feel like that was it. So I switched back to I was eating about 5,000 or 6,000 calories a day at that time. And I just switched back to 3,000 calories, and the weight just flew off. And I was down to well below 200 within about a month and a half. And then I dropped my calories to around the 2,200 to 2,600, and I just hold it there. I don't go any less than that. Okay. And the combination of my job, my workouts, and my metabolism allows me to lose the fat that I need to and look the way I do it.
You work a physical job, right?
Yeah, I work construction. I own a construction company, but because of the economy, I used to have crews. Now I mostly do the work myself. So I really have told my friends, I said I'm basically a perpetual motion machine. From the time I get up at 6:30 in the morning till the time I go to bed, I'm nonstop. I'm doing something. Either I'm working out, working in my yard, working construction, something. So I don't sit still.
Now, with your diet, I imagine you probably don't go low on carbs because you need the energy, and it sounds like you get lean pretty quick anyways, just from your metabolism.
I try not to go below 250 grams of carbs. I mean, there are days that I will, but on average I won't. And I keep my protein always the same year round, around 200. And the fats, everybody thinks, well, you got to get rid of your fats completely. I think that's false, because they're an important part of your body. They're in the 50 to 80 range, 50 to 80 grams, and they're healthy fats. But your body needs them. Hormones, joints, brain, whatever, heart. So I don't ever cut my fat too low. I think it's just my metabolism and my activity level really helps.
When you were going for that powerlifting meet, what were some of your lifts?
Well, I got to 600 on my deadlift, 530 on my squat, and 380 or 390 on my bench.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, but it wasn't close enough for me to feel comfortable to go. My goal was to break the record. If I couldn't break the record, I really didn't want to do the contest. So I hit that plateau for 6 months. I realized it's not going to happen. Right. After 6 months of doing it and not breaking it, I just stopped. And I went back to the diet for bodybuilding. But I still was doing all the heavy lifts. Like I said, on Monday, even just 5 or 6 days out from a contest, I still had the strength to deadlift 455 for 12 reps.
Wow.
Yeah.
12 reps.
12.
That's great.
Yeah. I've done 495 for 11 at my best. Yeah. So heavy weights and a balanced workout. Every body part. I don't skip on anything, and. I found that that's really helped me.
So you've won 2 overalls now in the open division, not just the Masters. So what's your goal now?
Okay, well, I have 3 more shows for the season. I'm doing the Gainesville for sure, and then I'm doing the Daytona the following week, and then my last show for the year is the Typhoon Bay, and that's the tested one. So I have high hopes for that one. I would like to eventually get to the Team Universe competition in New Jersey. And compete at that level, because that's a national steroid tested show. And then one day, I don't feel I'm ready for it yet until I can win a Southern States overall over 50 or the Florida State overall over 50. Until I do that, my goal would be eventually to compete at one of the national over 50 competitions. Yeah. But I don't want to do that until I can win a state level.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah,
you know.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, Frank. Well, congratulations on your second overall victory of the year, and we look forward to seeing you at the other shows later this year.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
For Frank Sapienza, this is John Hansen for FloridaPhysique.com.